R. Kelly recently.
Oh,
He what was the sentence for life?
They threw the book at his ass.
Threw the book at him, man.
technically, he's still going through it because
Okay.
now he's got to go to Illinois and face all the shit he did there. So he gonna be moving around for a minute.
Okay, so he's got some more trials.
Yes.
He's got to.
Yes.
But they already gave him life.
The most interesting charge he got was racketeering because he is the head of a criminal organization.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
that ultimately
That
does you.
that did him in.
Yeah, man.
So, obviously, I mean, we don't even need to get into how horrible it is for the victims,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
That goes
Always prayers to the victims and his family too,
and
because I'm sure they're going through some shit, like all this hate towards them, and they're
Yeah.
probably in a weird spot because they have the
Yeah.
Kelly name. You know what I'm saying? So
for sure.
that really sucks.
It goes without saying, man. And the thing that the part of this that is controversial, I guess you could say, is do we have any empathy for a person that has done the things that he's done when those things have happened to him, and the argument can be made that that is that's the rosebud of why he did it. Do we have any empathy for a person that did such heinous things?
I can answer first.
Go ahead.
'Cause I know you're thinking like, damn.
Go
like,
for it.
I'll say this, like, I have empathy for him, and by empathy, just so people don't get the definition confused, is
That's good defined.
Yeah, because I want to think like
Yeah.
confusing empathy and sympathy.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
yeah,
for
yeah.
sure,
So I had to
sure.
clear that shit up. I understand why he did the things that he did and like what led up to that.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I condemn it and all that, but I understand it. And I feel like behind closed doors, lots of people have empathy for him because like I can only really speak for like the black community. I'm not sure about other communities, but I'm sure this happens too. Like as bad as it sounds, like a lot of like families like protect like people who like sexually abuse like family members. As bad as that sounds, like some families do
That's
that.
facts. Yeah.
I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but it's just something like that happens.
That happens. That
Unfortunately.
happens in other communities.
Yeah, I don't want to speak for.
For sure. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I feel like that's why a lot of people at first, even though like it was obvious that he was doing this stuff for like the past like 20 years, that's why they kind of didn't want to like come out and like condemn him because they probably know somebody in their family who they may have protected doing those things.
Yeah.
Not saying it's
Yeah.
right or wrong, but I'm
Yeah.
saying like that's probably
The
why some
cycle
people.
continues. Yeah. Yeah.
But to make a clear point is that I understand like why he did the stuff that he did because he got sexually abused as a child and there's lots of like psychological damage that happens. So
Yeah. Yeah.
For me, like, I'm always kind of feel the way when a black man goes to jail. I just don't like it.
yeah,
I just don't. But I'm with you. I do have empathy as well, just
Yeah.
because of, like we were saying off mic, hurt people, man.
facts.
Like, and this is obviously prayers and love to all the victims because,
Facts.
like you were saying, we're not condoning his behavior, but you can see how that path was created for him.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, you can make the argument that he's sick. Like,
He is?
literally sick.
Yeah.
But at the same time, what I don't like is people using that to be like, but I can still listen to Ignition though, right? Because hurt people. He didn't really mean it. Because there was a bunch of people like
Yeah.
protesting free Kells, like, fam, he needs to be under the jail. But
yeah,
I can understand, I can empathize that he's fucked up for a reason.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't use that exact reason to push my sort of love for R. Kelly's music. You
But-
know what I mean?
I will say this though, because I agree with you, but we can also play devil's advocate. Like, there's lots of like these like old like white time like not white. Why I say white time? There's lots of these. There's lots of old time like white artists who've done things similar to R. Kelly, but we'll still play their music and we'll still like.
Yeah, that's the
I'm
other.
And I'm not saying two lefts make it wrong or two wrongs make it right, but I'm just putting that out there.
No, that's facts because there were people like saying like, oh, what about
Such and such.
what about why is Microscope so heavy on R. Kelly when these dudes, not that they got a pass, but in the media they kind of did. You know what I'm saying? It's Kels 24/7, but we talked about Weinstein for a couple weeks, or some of these other guys. You know what I'm saying?
Man, you've had some dudes who were marrying like 14-year-old girls when they were like in their like late 20s,
right?
And things of that nature. I don't want to say the names because I ain't trying to get y'all canceled.
Nah, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, but it's just like it's always a different microscope or a different feeling, and that's not to like us caping for R. Kelly saying like
both situations are wrong.
Yes,
both situations are wrong.
Is the person you're talking about still alive? The white artist you're talking about?
There's a few of them. One of them was a comedian who was like a very famous comedian, and he had like a very popular show in the 90s.
Really?
I don't want to say the name.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
I think y'all know who I'm talking about.
I don't know who you're talking about, but we'll
talk about
it. I'm like, you know, it's hurt people. I can't put that out of my mind 100%. There's a price to be paid, 1,000%. I do, you know, I just think that also too, the other side of this that we don't talk about is men who have experienced that, from what I understand, don't want to talk about that because they're stigmatized. Because
facts,
as a man, it's embarrassing, right? Like you don't want to talk about something like that. And I get that completely. You know, if that happened to me, I don't know if I would either. You know, I might want to sweep it under the rug, but sweeping things under the rug can bring you so many problems in the future if you act like they didn't happen.
Yeah.
So it's I go back and forth about this, just like the mental health of older people, you know, and how they went about life because they were told to shut up about everything.
Yeah.
They were told not to deal with that, keep that to yourself. Like even the coach that was at Michigan would, I don't know if you guys probably did hear about this, but back like in that, I think it was the 70s, as a threat, they would send like as punishment to the players, they would say, I'm going to send you to the doctor, which this doctor was like touching the football players and shit like that. Yeah.
I didn't hear about that.
It was really fucked up, man. That's part of the reason I think Harbaugh has changed his outfit this year for the games and things like that. But yeah, man, they all they're coming forward now. But I think that because today we put such an emphasis on mental health and we're destigmatizing so many different truths about mental health, like especially for men, where we aren't supposed to talk about anything, you know, and you know that went for women too. I'm just speaking for the reasons for men. It was like you have to be tough, you know, you can't look like anybody emasculated you at any point in your life, or else you're looking soft, right?
So, women go through a whole different other.
Yeah. So we're just
situation.
So I'm just speaking on.
No, I know
R. Kelly.
Yeah.
Like what's going on with him?
I'm just saying, like, because you brought up a good point about men, kind of like we don't talk about it. Like, I heard a story. I'm not gonna. We've been saying on this podcast. I'm not gonna say anything. But women deal with things completely different. Like, that molestation or whatever happens to a bunch of young girls, and they flip the script. Like, they become quote unquote super submissive or whatever because their mindset is, I'm gonna fuck you. You're never gonna fuck me again. I'm never getting fucked again. I'm going to fuck you.
Yeah.
So that's how they take that, and then they act like this type of woman, but you don't really know where that comes from.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's why it's like it's really sad with R. Kelly, because I don't know what age that happened, but you're an innocent kid. You know what I'm saying? And look how that perpetuated.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, because that's some like deep psychological shit. Like,
right.
Yeah.
Because if it happens like at a certain like point in like a kid's like development, that's gonna fuck everything up.
Yeah.
People don't realize that it's like very like deep seated thing. So like what you're saying, like, it's tough.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, I mean, I just hope that everybody, if there's something that you can take from that discussion, is if you need to deal with something, like, lean into it and to embrace the pain, because you have to go through it. The only way around it is through. So you just have to do that. You be willing to do it. And that's really all I gotta say on that, man.
But also like understand like people go through shit. Like
Of course,
yes,
of course.
he did wrong, but
yeah,
before you tear him down, let's see. Okay, how did we get here?
yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah.
Like
Like, how do we prevent like less R. Kelly's being
Yes.
made?
exactly,
Yes.
exactly,
Yes.
and that's the overall theme of that's where empathy comes from. Like let's figure out. Okay, how did this? Why are we at this point?